Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a salad today, and every time I make a salad it's like breathing deep for the whole body, really, because of the greens. There are different ways to get greens in. Greens is among the most important food. So many minerals are not in fruit, yeah. So only eating fruit is a little bit tough because then you have to eat that much. If you eat a lot of greens and veggies, it's easier. But the fruit are necessary just to make a very big picture, yeah, very gross. Fruit gives calories, yeah. You have to burn energy. And veggies are more for minerals and nutrients, just to make it very simple. So having these nutrients makes me breathe. And the greens especially, I can have them in smoothies, for example. It's different, it's all liquid. But having in a salad, they're so much lighter. A big salad can be a huge volume, and still I don't feel full afterwards. I eat a lot of greens, leaves, cut into different textures, and afterwards I feel light. Yeah. Where the smoothie is very dense. I drink a smoothie, and I feel full. Yeah. Yeah. But that's a difference. So once in a while, all these kinds of food, I always put one after the other. I have a great variety. To me, cooking is a variety. That's good cooking for me. To me, yeah. For today, I have this green salad, and tomorrow maybe I have a vegetables pasta spaghetti, and the other day I have a big smoothie, a green smoothie, or maybe both. Yeah. Afterwards a smoothie or before a smoothie. It can be so different. And then the next day I will make a juice fasting. I only drink juices. And then I have a cauliflower rice the other day. So there's always variety, and the way to get the greens in are so different too. A green salad, for example, can be very simple too. It can be just one leafy green, a nice dressing, maybe some onions to make it finer, or some tomatoes, just a little bit to play around, yeah, to make it lighter. But very simple. This time I have a pretty complex salad. I have the greens on the one side, first part is the greens, second part's a topping like nuts, olives, fatty fruits, and a dressing, third part. So this is pretty complex. Not really complex, but it's 3 parts, and every part has 3 ingredients, at least. I show you. I begin with the dressing. That is a classical beginning, because usually when I cut my veggies, the dressing should be ready, because when I cut the veggies, they lose their energy, the nutrients, because by cutting them makes the light and the oxygen come to the edges, and then the nutrients get less. Yeah. So now for making the video to show you everything is already done, and my veggies are cut, and I begin with the dressing. Anyway, so I have a cashew cream, a very nice dressing, very simple, just a handful of cashews. In general, there can be so many different ways to make a nice creamy dressing. Nuts or seeds, any kind of nuts, any kind of seeds. They all have different flavors though. And the creamy one, what I call it a cream, then I would like to have cashews, because they are, I would say, pretty close to what we know from creams before we went vegan. Yeah. Creams. Cashew are classical nuts to make cashew cream. Yeah. So I have a handful of cashews, and as today I have the greens, and there are some strong greens, so with an intense flavor, I'll show you in a moment. I also need an intense sour part in the dressing, a fatty part and the sour part, acid part, and that is apple cider vinegar. Also very healthy. It helps to detox, it helps to lose weight. You can eat it every day, it's very healthy. I have 2 or 3 tablespoons for a handful of cashew nuts, and that makes a nice cream. When I put more water in, it's more liquid. Less water, it's more creamy. For firm salads, I make it creamier. For leafy green salads, usually, I make it lighter, with more water. I show you. Now, the seasoning, pepper and salt, very easy. Here, Himalayan salt, a teaspoon, and a good teaspoon, and maybe a heaping, and a little bit less black pepper, yeah, also very nice pepper, and a nice clove of garlic. Yeah, that's all today. it makes a wonderful garlic cream, sour cream, because of the apple cider vinegar. And usually when I can also take a lemon that's not that sour, but it's also nice cream. And a little bit of water. I would say maybe half a cup today to begin with. Yeah, it will be nice and runny, not too heavy for my salad. Let me dance. Looks runny, because a half cup of water, that would make a handful of cashew nuts pretty runny, and that is nice. Yeah, I like this kind of runniness. The flavor is perfect, because, I'll show you in a moment. First I show you the salad, many ingredients of them. So when, when you put more water into the dressing to make it more runny, then the flavor would dilute. Yeah. Sometimes it can be crucial if you have too much water, the whole flavor of the dressing is diluted and you don't taste it anymore. Then it's important for a dressing to be really savory or really intense in the flavor, because when it covers the main ingredients of the salad, the leaves, then it loses the flavor. It goes less. So we have to over-season this dressing. Here, this is an endives. That's the queen of salads, I would say. Among others, of course, they're always wonderful. And it's very strong salad. It can be all over the year. We can have it. It's pretty expensive. I guess it's one of the most expensive salads. They have firm leaves, and I cut it into small stripes, as you see. That's because it tastes a little bit bitter. It's known for its bitter flavor. It's a nice bitter flavor. It can be nicely balanced with the dressing and with other ingredients. And that's why I have these small thin stripes, because the more surface, the more gets the flavor diluted, combined with others. Here you see some greens, some lighter parts, a wonderful texture. This endives, you just put the leaves on top of the others and cut it down in small stripes, very easy. The next layer here is rocket, arugula. It's another very strong flavor. Yeah. It's also very nice and easy to get. Almost all the time of the year you get this arugula, and it tastes a little bit like mustard, a little bit. Also very strong. It has a similar texture. It has a small, similar stripes. So this is a typical arugula, and it grows in the garden like nothing. It's huge, and once you have it set in the garden, you can have a little garden in the house too, in the kitchen, no problem. There are wonderful ways to put a vegetable garden into the kitchen, stocking up, and you have to look online. It's amazing, you can do that. I don't have it here, I have a small garden outside. The landlord allows me to do that. So I have some herbs there, and once I put a rocket there, it keeps growing and growing. Every year it comes back with a huge amount of leaves. Very nice. This is from the health food shop, but it can be grown easily, I would say. So the third ingredient here, to make it lighter, is a tomato. Here a cherry tomato. I cut it in halves. You see, that's an easy way to get them. And cherry tomatoes are always an easy way to get tomatoes tasty, because usually it's not so easy to get good tomatoes, because most of the time they taste like nothing, like water. And the tomato has a very special flavor. The nightshade flavor of tomatoes is unique, and it should be nice and tasty. And for that, in the wintertime especially, tomatoes are better in summer, of course. In the wintertime I can always get these cherry tomatoes. A little bit more expensive, but I don't have that many, and they're so tasty. So that is nice to balance the strong flavors of the other salads, of the arugula, the rocket, and the endives. That's nice with tomato. Now I have three ingredients here, three main ingredients. That goes with my dressing, usually, but today I make it a little bit more heavy. I want it a little bit more nutrient dense, the salad, so I add another layer of three ingredients, a second part of the main ingredients. It's a topping. I usually call that a topping. And this time it's a little bit more than a topping. It's a half an onion. That makes very nice for heat. It goes very nice with tomatoes, perfect. Just cut into small pieces. Chopped up half an onion, not too much. Get so much fire in the onion. And olives, they are also very nice and producing heat in the body because they are full of oil, a dense fruit, very delicious. I cut them into small pieces, small ringlets. Get very nice with onion and also very nice with tomato. And the third part, third ingredient of the third part here is pistachios. I could also tell some stories about pistachios. I found them very inexpensive because they usually are expensive. And in an Iranian shop, Persian shop, there are some shops in Berlin, there are like supermarkets, and more of the Muslim people, like from Afghanistan, from Persia, Iran and Iraq, they have shops on their own, and you can find very inexpensive nuts in there. Dates, very inexpensive. Also, the pistachios, they're very expensive usually, but they are very nice, good quality and very inexpensive there, so I go there, get them sometimes. And the pistachios are not only expensive, usually, if you don't get a good deal, but also they have a special ingredient, nutrient that is very healthy. It is an enzyme, a hormone. It's called melatonin. And the melatonin is very unique. The pistachio actually is the only plant, that has such amount of melatonin that it is enough to eat 2 or 3 pistachios. It's a lot more here. You can eat more, doesn't matter. To get the whole, what you need for a day. After jet lag, for example, when you have jet lag, you cannot sleep because the time difference from where you come is so big, so you can't sleep. You're out of your rhythm. But the melatonin, that's the hormone, the enzyme that makes this system work. It allows you to sleep deeply and to have good eyesight and many other things, to stay young. So melatonin is very important and, well, not easy to get. But pistachios do the job. Recommended for daily use. So I have now 2 main parts here: the greens, the tomatoes, and the nuts and the olives and the onions. Now I show you the dressing. Now the dressing has a sit a little bit, and there were these cashews. They have not been soaked, so they had time to get a little bit more creamy. You see, it's creaming up already. I put it all in here. My salad is ready. This is a pretty complex salad. You can already see it. It's very colorful, different colors from white to black. Almost everything is there. I have no blue, I guess. Yeah, blue is not there, but it's in the green. so I have everything in there. So it's a very complex salad, very nice and nutrient dense. It's something for a warm day. Green salads usually are for summertime, but you put more olives in and nuts and onions and these kind of things, then you have something for colder days too, because they are adding nutrients, nutrient density. So that's what I'm going to tell you today. So if you subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube, that's my channel on YouTube, you can get a recipe every single day, and you will see in the course of the time, if you have our everyday new recipe, you will see the change. Yeah, I make green salads every now and then. I make smoothies every now and then, like juices. It all comes after one after the other. You have always a little variety. So in each of these things, food categories, like salads for example, I also explore differences in there and have different lines and routes to follow. After a time you find it maybe helpful if you look for inspiration, what to eat every day, then you will have maybe something to find on this salad, on this channel. So MD Vegan it is. When you subscribe, I'll be glad to see you there every day. And you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. And if you like the video, thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you soon.